Peace, 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 peace. This is Maury Yacob. Peace. This is Maury Yacob and ITFTR Network. Thank you for joining me tonight. Let me make sure everything is working. Just give me a minute. Let me make sure everything is working. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. All right, we good. I thank the Creator for each one of you for being here. We thank the Creator for tonight. This is what we celebrate as the Shabbat. Praise to the Creator. I'd like to thank Sister Latoya for holding the chat and the platform down when I'm not up here holding it down. Even when sometimes I'm up here now, she still holds it down. I appreciate the sister. All praises to the Creator for that sister's diligence, her faithfulness, and everything else. We thank the Creator for that sister. Also, I'd like to thank each one of you that have been coming on the platform, not up on the platform, but have been coming on faithfully. To each one of you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, without no further ado, happy Shabbat to each one of you. It's Maury Yacob and ITFTR Network. We still on the platform. We still on the conversation of making and breaking a vow. Making and breaking a vow. Okay? Making and breaking a vow. Okay? Now, if you haven't seen part 1, 2, or 3, there's up there. Also, I appreciate the sister Latoya for holding it down, because a lot of times you can't find faithful people like the sister to hold things down. And, I really appreciate her and her, due diligence. I know sometimes I'm a bucket of chicken to work with. But the sister been faithful. She's been faithful. And I like to tell her sister, thank you. I appreciate you. All praise to the Creator. Tonight, we're going to, like I said, we're going to get into part 4 in Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter. I'm kind of got a sinus headache, so I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I'm trying not to really. You can hear my voice is kind of hoarse a little bit. So we're gonna pick back up in Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter. I think a lot of us, we need to really be paying attention to how we make vows, oaths, promises. And the thing is that we look at the most is that what we say to each other. But the main vow that we should be paying attention to is the vow or the oath that we make with the devil. Now, I'm going to kind of go in tonight. A lot of people don't even realize that they make oaths and vows and promises with the devil. Only a few going to hear this. Because a lot of people think that they are free from these oaths that they make with the devil. I had to learn what it means to make a vow with the devil. A lot of people you hear in the entertainment industry that people sell their souls. I'm going to put something on the table and we're going to come back to this. I want you to hold on to this because we're going to come back to this tonight. This is an analogy, but this is a true analogy. If you feed an animal grass, let's say a cow, and you allow that cow to eat grass, okay? But that grass is not real grass. It's fake grass. That grass is fake grass. And if that grass is fake grass, the point is, once when that animal eat that grass, what happens to that grass that goes into the animal? What happened to it? It's an animal. The animal is going to digest that grass. So once when an animal digests the grass, what happens? And you begin to understand. Does not that fake poisonous grass don't affect you? Yes. So I made that point to put this point on the table. If these people are selling their souls, do you not think what they are doing is not going to affect you? Or they're not going to put things out or do things that would affect you in life? I want to put that on the table because we're going to come back to that. Because a lot of you think when these people sell their souls, they sold their souls. No. See, that's not how selling your soul actually works. See, because when you sell your soul, the devil going to use you to affect others' souls. Is that how it work? That's why the Bible says, thou shalt have no other God before thee. That's a law. You have to pay attention to the things that you are committing to. Because what you commit to is what affects you. What you commit to is what affects you. Okay? So let's go to Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter. Let's go there real quick. And we're going to start at verse 4. What you commit to is what affects you. And a lot of you don't think that you are committing to the devil. A lot of you don't believe that. Yeah, Trey. It's the internet. I can't do nothing about the internet. And that's right, Sister Latoya, you are what you eat. You are what you eat. And eating doesn't mean the consumption of food. It's the energy that you allow to affect your energy. You see? And the Creator tells us, thou shalt have no other God before thee. But a lot of us, we take that and we position that and say, well, I don't serve an idol. No. You don't know what you're serving. See, we look at certain things that we can serve, but there's a host of things that you don't pay attention to that you are serving. Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter, verse 4. Without vowing vow unto the Creator, defer not to pay it. For he has what? No pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. When you vow unto the Creator, how do you do that? How do you vow unto the Creator? Well, let's break it down, because see, one thing you got to understand is how you vow to the Creator is how you vow to the devil. Okay? Or if I could put it into another perspective, how you vow to good energy is how you also vow to bad energy. If I could put it into that perspective. Or let me put it into a third perspective. How you vow to self is how you also vow outside of yourself. Meaning you have to be very cognitive of who and what you're vowing to. What are you allowing your energy to be affected by? Because the Creator gave you the power to rule. Genesis 1:26. Let them have, not him, them, T-H-E-M. He gave them dominion over the earth. So if the Creator gave you the power over the earth, and everything that's inside of this earth belongs under your control, how do you not have power now? How do you not have power now? How? If the Creator gave you power, Genesis 1:26, how is it now you do not have power? You have to now rely on something else other than yourself for that power. I want you to remember what you eat is what affects you. What you commit to is what affects you. Vowing unto the Creator is when you vow unto the house that you is a part of. Now, I want you to pay attention to that very close. When you vow unto the Creator, you are vowing unto the house that the Creator made you part of. You see what happened to Jonah when Jonah didn't want to make that vow? His life was not stable until he got back on the path that the Creator made him to travel. It didn't matter if Jonah didn't want to be a part of that. The Creator put him there. The Creator told Israel to kill all the Canaanites. It didn't matter how they felt. And because they didn't, the Creator made Israel pay. He said they would be a thorn in your side forever. He meant that. He meant that. See, it's what you choose to commit to. If the Creator put you in the house for wickedness, He expects wickedness to come from you. I want that to come. I want you to pay attention to what I'm telling you. Sister Latoya put up Ezekiel 3:1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that which thou findest. Eat thy roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. You could eat the Creator's word. That's right. You can eat it. See, what you consume is what is going to affect you. See, a lot of us don't realize what we are consuming. And we think what we are consuming is harmless. No, I just gave that analogy. If a cow eat GMO, that GMO is in that cow. Then when they kill that cow and cut that cow up and they feed you that cow, they just fed you GMO through that cow. And a lot of us, we don't pay no attention. So that's a good scripture. The Creator told Ezekiel, eat that thou findest. Eat this roll. See, he could have left that eat that with thy findest. He could have left it right there, but he didn't. He came back and said, eat this roll. See, this is where the natural, the nutritious is at, right here. Boom. Eat this. You see? And you know what? The devil telling you the same thing. He's telling you the same thing. You have to commit to the house. When the Creator put you inside of a house, your vows is unto that house. Israel vowed when they did not kill the Canaanites, they committed to the Canaanites' house. They destroyed their own house. When the Creator told Saul, King Saul, to kill all the Amalekites, or Amalekites, or whatever, and Saul kept the king and etc., he kept the house of his enemy. You see that? He vowed to the enemy's house. You see how that work? We have to be very careful in what we commit to. Because the devil is not going to not commit to his house. He's going to commit to his house. The problem is, we as believers don't commit to our own houses. We go outside of our house to make commitments to. And we wonder why we are messed up, why we are so confused, why we are being destroyed, why we are defeated. We wonder why. Why we not coming from out of these captivities? Because you've been committing and been making commitment, promises, oaths, and etc. to other houses except your house. You're supposed to be the priest, but somehow something else became your priest. I want you to pay attention to that. Something else became your priest. When you vow unto the Creator, you have to vow unto the Creator when you vow unto your house that He made you a part of. He didn't make you a part of everybody else's house. He made you a part of your house. And the question is, how do your house look? Do your house have holes in it? Because the Creator said His house is in ruins. But you keep building somebody else's house. But His house stays in ruins. And you wonder why you got holes in your pocket. You wonder why you're suffering. Because your house, you done went outside where the Creator has brought you in. Let's go to Exodus 19, verse 5. Exodus the 19th chapter. Let's write it real quick. Exodus the 19th chapter. Exodus 19, we're going to read verse 7, and then we're going to jump to verse 8. Verse 8 is what I really want to. I won't. It says, and Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before their face all these words which the Creator commanded. See, notice it goes back. Sister Latoya put up when he told Ezekiel to eat these words. Notice what Moses is giving the people, the words of the Creator. That's what we should be committing to, the words of the Creator. We should not be committing to nothing else. The elders fell on their face. You see? They laid before their faces all these words which the Creator has commanded him. You see? It's the words of the Creator is where you build your house. Watch what verse 8 says. And all the people answered together. All the people answered together and said, all that the Creator has spoken, we will do. See? They all agreed for that house that they would keep the words of the Creator. They would eat the roll of the Creator's word. They agreed. They would stand on the word of the Creator. They would live by the word of the Creator. They would teach their children the word of the Creator. That's what they agreed to. Israel agreed. See, they were building it. They agreed to the foundation of their house. They agreed to the roof of the house. They agreed to the walls on how the house would be built. It wasn't one, it was all. Let's read it again. Verse 8 says, and all the people answered, not some, but all. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Creator. So in other words, when you make that vow, your words go back to where it came from. That's what you call a ketubah. You see? That's how a marriage is made. A marriage is made by one coming with the word, the other agrees, and then the word returns back into where it came from. That's your marriage. That's your marriage. Israel agreed. And once they agreed that they will live, eat, and grow and teach the word of the Creator, there was nothing else behind that. There is no shortcomings. There is no, oh, my bad. Oops, I didn't know. Oh, I forgot. No. Once you agreed, it's done, it's sealed. You agreed to the house that he had placed you in. You agreed to the position in that house that he put you in. There is no oops, my bad. Because Israel had an opportunity not to agree. They had an opportunity to walk away from it. But they stood on what they said. All the people answered, we will do. Eve became a part of Adam's house. You can see that in Genesis 2:22. Let's go there real quick. Eve became a part of Adam's house. You see? Eve became a part of Adam's house. Let's start at verse 21. And the Creator caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. You never saw when Adam woke up. He slept. That was a trance. The Sister Latoya had brought that out in one of her lessons. In the judgment lessons, I advise y'all to go back and review and look at those lessons that the sister was putting on the channel. Very good breakdowns. The judgment series. The Bible says, and Adam slept, and he took one of his ribs. And first thing y'all think about in a carnal mind, that is the actual rib. You can't make a woman from one rib. That's dumb. Then number two, how can a man produce a woman? The woman produces the man. You say, oh no, see, the seed come from the man. Yeah, but it takes the egg to evolve that seed into whatever it needs to be. So it takes two. It don't take one. So the man could not make the woman. The woman was already there. The rib is a side chamber, meaning there's marriage is going on. That's a marriage. Why would the Creator hold you not for marriage? The sister brought that out. Beautiful. I hope she redo the lesson. But she was talking about the marriage, the virginity. Why would the Creator hold you for prostituting daughters if it was not including marriage from the beginning? When did Adam and Eve ever get married? You mean to tell me you can't see that in the story? So the Creator hid the marriage story. Or there was never a marriage. But for somehow, the Creator gonna hold you for marriage. You see how we double-minded in our own houses? So he took one rib, caused a deep sleep, and took one rib and closed up the flesh therein, meaning he sealed the marriage. He sealed the marriage. Okay? Then he says in verse 22, and the what? And the rib which the Creator, the Creator, that power had taken from man, made he a woman. You say, well, see right there, he made a woman. Well, tell me, how did he make a woman from a rib? Because he made Adam from dirt. So you mean to tell me the woman ain't dirt? So now when she died and she go back into the ground, a rib is there. Only one rib. She don't have a bone structure. It's just a rib. I want you to see how we think about the house that he placed us in. The woman is just one rib. She ain't a bone structure. She don't have a bone structure. She's just one rib. She don't have no dirt. She's not made of dirt. She's not made of dust. That's a rib. It reminds me of that song, I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. we don't take the house that he placed us in serious. My baby back, baby back, baby back, baby, my baby back ribs. We don't take nothing serious of the house that the Creator placed us in. We just come up with different jingles. Just what we do. We just come up with different jingles. You see? And it says he took the rib, meaning he took the seal from the chamber of that marriage. Watch this. And he made the woman. How did he make that woman? How did he make her? You see? How did he make her? Tell me what he made of. Where did he make her from? What did he make her from? Because it just simply said he took a rib. It didn't say he took flesh from her, flesh from Adam. He took a rib from Adam and closed the flesh thereof. He closed the flesh back up. Show me what the woman is made of if she ain't made from dust too. Show it to me. Because that woman should not have a bone structure. She should just be one rib. She shouldn't have a knee bone. She shouldn't have a toe bone. She shouldn't have a foot bone, a finger bone. She shouldn't have a skull. She should just be a rib. And she shouldn't even be flesh. Because it didn't say he took flesh from Adam. It said he took a rib. I want y'all to look at this. I want y'all to think about how do y'all see your house? Because this is how we know how we disrespect the females in the house. Because we take marriage for granted. Because we reading that the woman came from the man. So when that woman vow, we look at her as being a helpmeet. The Bible says she's a helpmeet. Yes. But define to me a helpmeet. I don't think you could. Because a helpmeet ain't no slave. If she's your assistant, the Creator, meaning when he brought her unto him, Adam had a woman that was compatible to him. You know, somebody that can keep him in line? Somebody that was just as hard as him. You see how that go? A woman that is compatible. Someone that's not afraid. See, you can't marry a woman that keeps her mouth shut. That's right. That's right, Sister Latoya. A companion is a rescuer. Let's look at that real quick. Just that word, a rescuer. So tell me what that woman gonna rescue you from. That means she got to be just as tough or tougher than you. Men, if she's going to rescue you, because sometimes we can put ourselves in some real bad positions. And that woman got to come in and rescue you. So how is it that she is weak if she's your rescuer? Because that's what help me mean, a rescuer. It's part of it. See, I can stay right here all night. Help me also means strength. She got to learn to strengthen you. And sometimes men don't want to hear that. And that woman got to be 10 toes down into strengthening that man, even when that man don't want to be strengthened. So that woman has to be more in her capacity, in her position in that house. She got to be strong-skinned just as much as that male. You see? See, Eve was introduced to Adam's house because it was Adam's job to provide, protect, and please her. Now it was vice versa as well, because they both do that for each other. You see? But that woman is that support for that male. This is what we have to remember. Eve became a part of Adam's house. He became a part of Adam's, she became a part of Adam's house. Peace, Shava, peace. And when she became a part of that house, she did not become a slave. She came to assist, meaning she's going to bring things in order as well. But see, we don't look at that like that. We don't look at that. You know, she just quiet, go in the kitchen, cook, go at night. We're going to have sex with her. I'm going to have sex with her, and then she's going to produce my baby. That's not a helpmeet. That is a slave. Sister Latoya put up the Creator is also a helpmeet. That's right, Hosea 13:9. O Israel, thou hast destroyed thyself, but in me is thy help. That is true. The Creator is Israel's helpmeet. You see? She also put up Psalms 32:20. Our soul waiteth for the Creator. He is our help and our shield. You see? Very good scriptures. So Eve became a part of Adam's house as we became a part of the Creator's house. We supposed to have been helping the Creator like the Creator been helping us. How do we help the Creator? We supposed to have been living like I just showed y'all in scripture. Israel agreed. That's a marriage. The Creator stood on his bargain, but Israel broke their bargain. They broke their vow. They broke their promise. They didn't want to live in their house no more. They wanted to be a part of somebody else's house. That goes to my next point. Israel became the part of Egypt's house. We can see that in Genesis 46, 26, and 27. Genesis 47 and 11. In Exodus 1 through 5. Israel became a part of Egypt's house. You see? The Creator put them there. Because he said, I'm going to bring them out for them to be a what? A mighty nation. He said, I'm going to be in Egypt with them. See, the Creator Eve became a part of Egypt's house. He said, I'm going to be in Egypt with him. That's scripture. That's what he told Jacob. I'm going down to Egypt with him. We have to realize the house that the Creator has placed us a part of. Let me just get one of the scriptures. Let's go to Exodus. Let's go to Genesis. Well, let's go to Exodus, the first chapter. Exodus, the first chapter, verse 1 through 5. Just to show you that Israel became a part of Egypt's house. Okay? See, we take our house that he have given us for granted. That's the reason why people don't have respect for us as a people. Because if you don't respect your own house that you're supposed to uphold, why would anybody uphold your house for you? No, they're gonna take your house down and move you out of the way and build upon your house because you don't want your house. You see? Start at verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, and all the souls that came out of what? The loins of Jacob were 70 souls from Joseph was in Egypt already. You see? They was in Egypt. They weren't in the land of Canaan, they was in Egypt. You see? They were in Egypt. Now, that coming from out of the loins, I'm going to come back to that another time. Jacob didn't have 70 loins that come from him. And I know we talk about grandchildren and all that, but there's something else there too. But I'm going to touch on that, another whole subject. That's for another time, another lesson. Israel went into the house of Egypt. My next point is David became a part of Saul's house. David became a part of Saul's house. Let's go there. Because see, Israel had to go to Egypt because of a famine. Eve became a part of Adam's house because of marriage. You see? Now David became a part of Saul's house. Why? 1 Samuel. Let's go there. See, there's a reason why everything happens the way it does. 1 Samuel 16. There's a reason why you become a part of a house. 1 Samuel 16, verse 14 through 23. Let's ride in real quick. But the spirit of the Creator departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Creator troubled him. So Saul lost the spirit. He lost the confidence. He lost the let's just say he lost the spirit of the Creator, the anointing. He lost it. And an evil spirit came and troubled Saul. Meaning Saul was being tortured while he was alive. Verse 15. And Saul's servant said unto him, behold now, an evil spirit from the Creator troubleth thee. So even his servants knew that the Creator had put an evil spirit in Saul's house. Why? Why did he put an evil spirit in Saul's house? Because Saul didn't follow what the Creator asked him to do. So the Creator now began to bring a curse to Saul, and everybody understood it. Verse 16. Let our Lord now command thy servants, which are before thee, to seek out a man who is what? Cunning, who is a cunning player on a harp. And it shall come to pass when the evil spirit from the Creator is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. So in other words, people seek out who can help come in to straighten things out. You see, that's when it says your gift will make room for you. It'll bring you before mighty men. Because sometimes in that house, there is no person with that gift that you have. And people will seek you out, or the Creator will place you there. You see how that go? So verse 17. And Saul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that can play well and bring him to me. Verse 18. And then answered one of the servants and said, behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning in playing, and a mighty, valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and is a comely person, and the Creator is with him. So they knew the Creator was with. See, sometimes when people are searching for help because they realize they are in a bad position, the Creator will bring somebody in the midst of that house, and people will know that person, that the anointing rests upon that person for that house. You see? You see how that go? Verse 19, wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse and said, send me David, thy son, which is with the sheep. 20, and Jesse took an ass ladder with bread, laden with bread, and a bottle of wine, and a kid, and sent them by David, his son, unto Saul. Verse 21, and David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his what? Armor bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he has what? Found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from the Creator was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hands. So Saul was what? Refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from Saul. Sometimes people cannot do what the Creator has placed in your hands for you to do. People going to come sin, they're going to send for you to be in the house with them because of your gift. Saul asked David to allow David to stay in his house to help him. You see? And Israel became a part of all nations' house during the captivities that Israel became a part of. You see? So when a male and female become one, that word simply means in the same or similar way. That woman and that male, that female and male, they become the same of mind, or they become similar in action. They move it, in the same movement of energy. See, one can't eat sin and the other one eating righteousness. It don't work like that. The same with Israel. Israel cannot eat sin and be in the presence of the Creator who is righteous. It don't work like that. Because now you have two foundations. You have two foundations. And that's why the other half of the verse says it's better in Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter, verse 5. It's better not to vow than to what? Let me go back to it. I don't want to chop it up. Let me go back to it. Because you made a vow. You made a vow. And you got to be careful at the vows that you make. See, a lot of us, we get caught up in the vows that we make to people. And then when those vows don't come to pass, then you didn't pay attention to the people you made a vow to. You didn't pay attention to the house that you was choosing to join. Did the Creator send you to that house, or was that the house you choosing to be a part of? Now we have to pay attention to that. Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter, verse. Let me finish up first, verse 4. When thou vow unto the Creator, defer not to pay it. Meaning, you don't try to put it off for you not to pay that vow. If you're part of a house and you made a vow to that house, you need to pay a vow to that house. You need to stand on that promise that you made to that house. For he has no pleasure in fools. What is a fool? A fool is one who who say words out of their mouth that they really don't mean. That's a fool. Meaning he condemns himself. He condemns himself. He don't say things, he's saying things just to say it in that moment, but in actuality, they don't mean it. That's a fool. Israel became a foolish nation because they really weren't trying to uphold that vow. They just wanted something to help them at that moment. I want that to soak to some of you. I want that to soak to some of you. A lot of times we say things out of our mouth that we really don't mean. We just say it in the moment. And the moment of us saying it gets us in trouble because now what happens is when it's time to pay that vow, you ain't really trying to pay it. You're not really trying to pay it because you really didn't mean what you said out of your mouth. It was just something you said. For the moment, because you was ready to partake into pleasure. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Where you wanted to partake into that pleasure. See? So that's why verse 5 says, better it is that thou should not vow. Keep your goddamn mouth shut. Stop moving with the wrong energy. Your energy that you move with is a vow. It ain't just the words, it's the movement of your energy. It creates a vow, a promise, an oath. So you got to watch your energy. Your thoughts is a vow. You got to watch your thoughts. You got to watch your energy of movement. And you got to watch your words that you speak. See, a lot of us, we don't pay attention to none of that. We just pay attention to our words. No, you don't pay attention to how you move. Because see, a lot of women get in trouble by how they move with a man through their energy. See? You're not serious when you deal with a man. And then we get upset when that man dog us out or dog you out. You got to be serious with your house that the Creator has placed you in and the move of how you move in your energy. You see how that go? Better it is that thou should not vow. See? Don't get tangled up into things that you know that's going to create an issue. That's in thought, that's through movement, and that's through verbal. That's why that's why I gave those scriptures. You have to be careful at the things that you speak. A wise man is slow to speak, meaning not just words. He's slow to move through movement. He's slow to think in thought. He's paying attention and he's looking in the long term, not just in the pleasure of a moment. Many of us get trapped in the pleasure of a moment instead of the long term gain. See, if you're getting caught up in the pleasure of the moment, you're not protecting your house long term. And that's how a lot of us, we lose in life, because we are caught up in the pleasure and not the long term. Then we make those dumb decisions. We make dumb promises, false promises, things that we really don't mean, because we're simply not understanding. We're eating things or have ate things that was contaminated. And now we're at the hospital because we're sick. We have to learn to protect the house that the Creator has placed us in. Even if it's a wicked house. The Creator is expecting you to stand according to His law. And when I said earlier, when the Creator placed you in the wicked house, He's expecting wickedness. I'm not talking about the people that's righteous, because everybody wasn't made to be created righteous. Some was created for the fuel of fire, according to Ezekiel. Some of you was created to be destroyed. And those people are going to stand on their destruction. The problem is, we, Israel, don't stand on righteousness like the wicked stand on wickedness. The Creator don't have no problem with the wicked people. He have a problem with the ones that's supposed to be righteous. So it's better to not vow than thou should vow and not pay. You see? This is where all the confusion come in at, because a lot of people, they vow, but then when it's time to pay, they're not ready to pay. They're not willing to pay. They don't want to pay. They come with excuses of paying. So when the Creator puts you into a house, you will keep that vow regardless of the position you are in. You are in dealing with that house. It doesn't matter the position you're in. You need to keep that vow. You see? It don't matter the position you're in. You got to uphold that vow. That's why the Creator didn't care nothing about when King Saul didn't kill all the Amalekites, or Amalekites, or whatever they were. Creator didn't care. He gave him an order. This is what you're supposed to do. And that's why the anointing was taken from him. It didn't matter. He told Moses to do something. Moses chose his opinion, his thought, his movement over what the Creator had authorized him to do. Creator didn't care. See? Moses lost it. He lost out. Aaron lost out. David was supposed to be righteous, and we know David was the apple of the Creator's eye, but it didn't matter. That sword never left David's house after he did what he did to Uriah. Remember, he said that they're going to be a thorn in your side forever. That's how he became a thorn. He married one of the beautiful Israelite women, and David happened to see her naked while she was bathing on top of the roof. So David thought, oh, I could just do him. No, you can't. You cannot. You got to live. You got to keep him under the law now. You chose that thing in your house. See, we allow things to be in our house that should not be there. See, you got to pay attention to what you allow in your house, because when you allow it to be in your house and you begin to govern it in your house, how you move it now, that's the thorn. That's part of the curse. And David thought because he was the king, he could deal with Uriah. No. And he brought a sword that never left his house. It don't matter what position you're in, you still have to keep that vow. Solomon thought that he became wise enough that he could cut corners. Creator visited him 3 times. Turn, bruh. Turn, bruh. Turn, bruh. He refused. And the creator said, I'm not going to take the house from you because I promised your father David. But it really wasn't David. He promised. It was Abraham. But he brought it all the way up to David. He said, I'm going to take the house from your seed. And the house of Israel what? Split. See, it was one house. One house became multiple houses, which brought confusion. Is that how it work? We destroy our own house for outsiders because we want to live, be, do, think, feel, act, or whatever like them. That was never part of your house. You want to bring everything in your house that don't supposed to be in your house, all because you want to be like everybody else. 1 Samuel, the 8th chapter, you can read that when they say Samuel, we want a king like the other nations. See, we want to be like everybody else, and not knowing that being like everybody is what is the reason why your house is destroyed, because you're making a vow to something on the outside. It's no longer the word no more. It's your feelings. It's your thoughts. It's your emotions. It's your actions. It's your energy now. Let's go to Sirach. I know I'm going to Sirach. Let's go to Sirach, the 23rd chapter. That's in the Apocrypha. Sirach, the 23rd chapter. Give me a second. Sirach, the 23rd chapter. And this is what it says here. I'm reading verse 1 and 2. O Father, O Creator, Father, and Governor of all my people, of all my whole life, leave me not to their counsels, and let me not fall by them. See, sometimes you have to talk to the people who's in charge that have power that can help you. To be able to help you out of situations. Like that song TLC said, I know what they're talking about, but I'm just gonna use it in another analogy. Like they say, it's not too. I ain't too proud to beg. Sometimes you have to ask people who you know that living according to the rules of the game to help you out. But sometimes we take the advantage of people. You see how that work? Let me not what? Fall by them. I don't want to fall. I don't want to fall by those that don't like me. I don't want to let people who hate me defeat me. And that's why sometimes you have to learn, even though you made a vow, sometimes your vow is you need help. But you don't go just asking anybody. You see? The Creator will put people in your path that will literally help you. Verse 2. Who will set scorches over my thoughts. See, these people will set scorches over my thoughts. What is a scorch? They will set scorches. A scorches is a whip used as an instrument of punishment. They will punish my thoughts. People will remind you of the things that you done outgrew. Some people don't let you grow up. They let you stay in a position that they knew who you were. That's punishment. You're like, man, that's who I was 30 years ago. They don't care. They are a scourge to you. They are there to remind you who the hell you was. See, because a lot of us, we want to run from who we were. We want to run from that. See, because you forgot you made that vow to that house 30 years ago. Some of these people become scourges to you. They remind you they are a whip. Man, I ain't trying to talk about that. Especially, I remember, I ain't gonna call a person out, but they had a baby when they were young. And it brought shame to them. And they didn't want people to know that was their child. So they made that like that the baby was their sister. And that baby was a scourge to the sister for having a baby when she was young. You see? We have to be very careful because see, things is a boundary. It reminds us, it haunts us because you made a vow to a house that you was aware of back then. You see, a lot of times we know some things, we know what we did when we was doing it when we were young. And people will remind you of a lot of things because you made a vow, promise to those things. That's why y'all got to go back and check the sister page out, her lessons of judgment. Because a lot of times you don't realize that your life is to be reminded of the house you, even if it was ignorantly, you didn't know the full details. Because a lot of times when we're young, we don't know the full details of things because we're looking at the pleasure moment right now, at that moment. But later on, things become a scourge to you. It become a whip. It's an instrument of punishment. You see? Who will set scourges over my thoughts and the discipline of wisdom over my what? My mind. See, who's going to do that? See, I need boundaries now. I got to be reminded of things of my past, and who's going to what? Who's the discipline of wisdom over my mind, over my thoughts? Who's going to be there to do that if I'm constantly battling? See, that's why you got to have friends around you. See, that's what a helpmeet is there for. See, a helpmeet is there to help bring these boundaries. She's going to be a scourge to you. He's going to be a scourge to you. You see? They're going to also be the wisdom of what? Discipline over your mind. Because sometimes we would try to forget who we were. No, you don't supposed to forget that. That they spare me not for my what? Ignorance. See, you don't want nobody to spare you. See, your enemies are not going to spare you. So why would you want your friends to spare you? Why? Why you want your friends to spare you? And it passed not by my sins. Meaning they didn't throw my sins away. They didn't forget about my sins. They remember who I was. See, I'm this now, but they remember me back then. See, a lot of us, we don't want to be reminded of who we were. Nah. See, the beautiful part is when you're reminded of who you were back then, because that's who you were in your ignorance. But you know, sometimes when, a lot of times when young people grow up, they think they know it all. No, you don't know it. You're just learning. You still have to be molded, guided, directed. See, you want your house to be squared, founded. See, discipline of wisdom is the active commitment practice of seeking knowledge, understanding, and right living. See, that's where you ask people for help. Saul was being tortured, and he asked for help. And he knew he was wrong, but he asked for help. Who can help soothe this spirit from me? Because Saul knew that his house were messed up. He knew it. And he asked for help. You see? And when he saw David, even though David comforted him, David still was David's presence was judgment to him. Because he saw the reason why David was there was because he failed in his promise. Because he committed to something else outside the house. Let me grab a couple more scriptures and then we're going to get into it. Let's go. Let's stay in the Apocrypha. Just a couple of scriptures in the Apocrypha. Sirach, the 18th chapter. You got to learn to ask for help. Saul asked for help, but he couldn't take that something was greater than him. That was David. And it brought jealousy. It brought torment even more because he realized he lost the anointing. See, it takes a man and a woman when you ask for help. You can stand in the progress of thy help, regardless of you know you being judged. It takes a hell of a man and a hell of a woman to stand, ask for help, and allow thy help to still be your judgment. Sirach 18, 16 through 18. Let's ride. Let's keep riding. Let's keep cooking. Shall not the dew assuage the mind? Shall not the dew assuage the mind? So is a word better than a gift. See, something outside your house that the Creator placed you in can sway you from living and doing what you have made a vow to. That's why we have to be very careful and cognitive at our thoughts, at our energy that we move with, and our words that we speak out of. Because any little small thing can sway you away from the promise, the oath, the vow that you have made to the house that the Creator placed you in. Anything can move you from that. And all it takes is that moment. So is a word better than a gift. Meaning, what is the word? When somebody give you their word, and we say, well, I heard when you spoke. No. Don't just listen to the words that a man or a woman speak. See, this way wisdom come in at. You got to look at the actions of that individual. Because people say any kind of thing out their mouth. But that's what you're supposed to do, an investigation back in their life to make sure that this is who they say they are. See, you're going to have to do the investigation or you're going to get caught up in the moment. Which one? Which one? See, which one? Verse 17, lo, is not a word better than a gift? Is not somebody's word better than what they can do for you? Because here's the deal with that. People have patterns. What is the pattern of that individual? Have you did the investigation? Or you just listening to what they speak from their mouth? What's the pattern of that individual? What were they doing before they met you? Show me the things that they progressed in before they met you. Because somebody's words can be a gift as well. Ooh, man, he got the gift. Ooh, he makes me jittery. But what was they doing before they met you? What were they doing? But both are with a gracious man. See, you got if a person give you a gift and they speak words and you did the investigation, you should see at the end of the day, both the words or a gift is going to come from somebody that's gracious. But the problem is this point right here. Is that gracious? Is gracious for you in your house, or are they gracing you out of your house? Which one? Are they allowing you to be caught up in the moment, or are they trying to get you to see further down the road? Which one? In verse 18, a fool will upbraid crushingly, and a gift of the envious consumeth the eyes. See, a fool will upbraid curiously, whatever, curiously, meaning they're gonna just say all kind of stuff to get your attention. This is what they're gonna do. They're gonna say all kind of things to get your attention because they know you're not gonna be paying attention anyhow. You just love the flattery. And the envious and the gift of the envious consumeth the eyes. The gift of the envious consume the eyes. First Samuel, the 8th chapter, they wanted a king like the other nations. That consumed their eyes. They was watching what the other nations had. David's eyes was consumed with Bathsheba's nakedness. See how that work? See how that work? Let's stay in Sirach. Let's go back to the 7th chapter. We have to be careful at the things that we commit ourselves to. Sirach 7:14. We have to be very careful at what we commit ourselves to. Sirach, the 7th chapter, verse 14. Use not many words in the multitude of elders. Don't be sitting there running your mouth in front of men or women that are wise. Don't do that. It's not wise. Because they ain't going to do that to you. And they ain't going to do that in front of you nor in the presence of you. Because people that have wisdom uses few words. Use not many words in the multitude of elders, and make not much babbling when thou prayest. You ain't got to sit there and, oh, God have mercy, bless my soul, yeah, and all that is in me, and I need, you ain't got to do all that. That's foolish. It's foolish. There are certain prayers for certain situations, and it don't take many words. Because everything is already, because remember when Israel had conquered Jericho by marching around 7 times, they were told to march around 7 times and blow the horns, and the walls came down. We said, ooh, but we don't talk about the city of Ai. What did the Creator tell Israel? When you crush the walls of Jericho, do not take nothing of the things out of it. Leave it there. Achan took some of the stuff and hid it under his tent. And what happened? When they went up against the next city, Ai, they was defeated. Joshua and all of them rent their clothes, put sackcloths on their head. But the angel told them, get up. Sin is in your camp. It don't take all of that. Sin is in your camp, buddy. When sin is there, I can't be there. And a lot of us, we take for an example, we have sin around us. We bring sin into the camp, and we don't understand why the Creator is not there, because you got sin in your house. You see? And then we try to use much words. We try to use much words. We try to pray all night, pray all day, pray. No, you don't need to do all that. Sin is in your house. Get the sin out, the Creator come back. He'll turn his face back to you. Get the sin out the house, he'll turn his face back to you. Sirach 19, verse 7 through 17. Let's ride on this real quick. Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee. When he says, let's read it again. Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto you. You don't rehearse what the Creator gave Israel laws. Why is Israel trying to rehearse those laws to other people before they learn it themselves? I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. We're trying to tell everybody the law, but we haven't learned the law ourselves. You see? going to rehearse something how you going to rehearse something with other people when you're not doing it yourself? I'm going to let that soak. Let me read it again. Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto you. Why would Israel sit there and live according to the law in front of other people when Israel ain't living it to themselves in their own house? I'm going to let that sit for a minute. See, we tries to bring everybody up to speed on what we supposed to be doing, but we haven't done it yet. You see? And thou shalt fare never the worse. Thou shalt fare never the worse. You see, if you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do, you ain't got to worry about ever being the worst to people. Because people is not going to never bring the BS to you because they know you're not rehearsing or trying to be something in front of them. That you're not in the house that the Creator placed you in. You see? Verse 8. Rather it be to friend or foe, talk not of other men's lives. Don't talk about other people's lives. If you're doing the same thing, if you're not living righteous, why are you talking about other people's lives? What is the pleasure you're getting from it? And if thou canst without offense, reveal them not. See, you don't have to tell people. I can talk about situations, but I don't have to tell you who it is. Because if I tell you who it is, it'll bring an offense. See, these are rules of how you keep your house in order. See, when Achan hid that stuff under his tent and caused sin in Israel, Israel had to go amongst themselves to find where that sin was. Verse 9, for he heard and observed thee, and when time cometh, he will what? Hate thee. See, that's the problem. We reveal everything out in the open. Some people say, well, see, it's not meant for, no. There's certain things that needs to be open, out in the open. And there's a lot of things that don't need to be out in the open. You see? Because the things that should not be out in the open, when it come into the open, and the other individual or the people, party people or company didn't want that in the open, that's when hatred come in. And now your house is what? It's split down the middle. When David slept with Bathsheba and he killed Uriah, it split the house of David. And his house never came back from that. It split it. David never had peace in his house. Verse 10. If thou hast what heard a word, let it die with you. If something is revealed to you, let it die with you. It don't need to be out all over the place. Let it die with you. And be bold. It will not burst thee. Be bold. Let it die with you, and let it die with you. You don't have to sit there and let that thing burn you up like you got to bring it. No, let that thing die with you. Verse 11, a fool traveleth with a word. A fool travel with a word. That word is gossip. A fool travel with gossip. See, this would hurt Israel. A fool travels with gossip. As a woman in labor of a child. You see? He carry around that gossip. Stuff that can hurt, bring hatred. A fool does that. Because he don't have a house, or she don't have a house, or they don't have a house that they respect. So they travel with the word like they are in labor. Ready to just give it out, ready to give it out. See, Israel always traveled with words that went against the Creator. That's why they call the Creator all kinds of names. Yahuwah, Yahwadah, Elohim, Elayoah. I mean, I go down the list. El Shaddai. They call him all kinds of names. But the Creator never told you to call him those names. You chose that and you stood on it. And you went around telling everybody, oh, this is the name of the Creator. Creator never told you that was his name. See, many of you became fools. Speaking words outside of your house that the Creator never told you to speak outside your house. That's what got the house of Israel in trouble. They was calling the Creator all kinds of names. See, it's the tetragram. That's Jewish. That's Jewish. That's Canaanite. That's Phoenician. They took some of your words and they translated it according to their language, their dialect, not yours. You see? And we carry that stuff around like they taught us truth or they gave us truth. No, they gave you a stage. S-T-A-G-E. They gave you actors and actresses and entertainers on the stage, and you choosing to keep watching the entertainment instead of cutting the TV off, the radio off. You choosing to watch it and listen to it. Which is outside of your house. Verse 13. Admonish a friend. Admonish him. Chastise a friend. Chastise him. It's okay to chastise a friend. Make sure he stay in line. That's a helpmeet. A friend can also be a helpmeet to you. Admonish them when they're wrong. Admonish them when they're right. Because you want them to stay in line according to the house that the Creator placed them in. You don't keep your mouth shut. You open your mouth to a friend. See, Adam was not a friend to Eve because he kept his mouth shut when he saw that she was sinning. was not a friend to Moses when he saw when Moses was sinning. Aaron should have stopped him. See, Samuel was being a friend to the elders because he told them not to do that, not to ask for that. And the Creator had to tell Samuel, no, they're not doing that to you. They're doing that to me. But Samuel was trying to warn them. Admonish a friend. Because you want them to stay in line of the position that they're in the house that they were put in to be a part of. It may be he has not done it, and if he has done it, that he do it no more. See? You can't be afraid to admonish somebody when they're wrong. It may be he has not done it. See, if you watch this now. Admonish them. If you think they were wrong, you still admonish them. Let them correct them. Let them bring correction on the table. They'll realize, oh, hell, she watching. Oh, hell, he watching. Hell, they watching me. So they got to be careful at what they do because they know when you do it in front of them, they're going to be admonished. You admonish a friend. And if they didn't do it, they'll realize somebody's watching them. And if they did do it, they won't do it again. Verse 15. Admonish a friend, for many times it is slander, and believe not every tale. See, you can admonish somebody and it can become slander as well. So that's why I told you, you have to pay attention to how you bring fame. Why you bring it? You see? Because we don't want to admonish somebody into things that we know that's not true. We want to make sure that what we admonish somebody about is true. Sister Latoya put up Psalms 37 and 30. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. That is true. Because we want to make sure we bring that judgment and that wisdom couples into that judgment. And we want to make sure when we do it, we speak in the truth. There is one that slippeth in his speech. See? What do you mean by slippeth? Just talk. Say all kind of stuff. Words that really don't mean nothing. But not from his mind. He talk, he's not paying attention to really what he should be thinking. He just running his mouth. She just running his mouth. They just running their mouth. See, this is how you destroy a house. And who is he that who has not offended with his tongue? Who you show me a person that never offended with their tongue. Because everybody that said something that offended somebody. And we got to be very cognitive that we do offend people. Sometimes you can be right, but you can say it at the wrong time. We got to be very careful into these manners. Because if we're not cognitive that we do offend with our tongue. A lot of times we offend with our tongue, our mouth. And we got to be very careful because if we don't acknowledge that, then we're going to keep offending with our tongue. Sister Latoya put up Proverbs 25 and 11. A word fitly spoken is like apples of golden in the picture of silver. That's right. Fitly. You got that word fitly. That's a very unique verse. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver. That means you got to have the precise words you speaking. Your words can't be all over the place. You got to be speaking direct, specific, and direct, specific. It got to be a laser and a dot. Because if it's not, then you're going to create chaos. What we say, when you speak in broad, meaning people can take it any kind of way. That's why your words got to be fitly. She also put up Proverbs 25:12 as an earning of gold and an ornament of fine gold. So is a wise repower upon an obedient ear. Right. When they speak, they're going to speak the right words to those that really wants to hear. And those ones that hear, they're going to be obedient, and you're going to see them start to what? Map out and start to do. They're not going to just be all... The wise don't speak to just anybody. The wise speak to specifics, and they speak those fit words. That's why we have to know that we at times, if we ain't careful on how we govern our thoughts and our move with our actions, we're gonna speak words that offend. We're going to speak that. In verse 17, admonish thy neighbor before thou threaten him. See, admonish him before you threaten him. You know what I mean? People get offended when you admonish them. Tell them the truth. And then if I have to go there, then let it go there. But tell them the truth. Tell her the truth. Tell them the truth first. Then if it's a threat there, then let it be. And not being angry. Don't be angry when you go there. But you be specific. You had, like the sister put up, those words are fitly there. You being direct. Your words ain't gonna be misconstrued. No. It's gonna be direct. Because you're about building your house. You're about allowing your house to stay where it is. Give place to the law of the Creator. Give place to the law of the Creator. Even when it goes there. You see? Don't be angry, but make sure the law of the Creator is there. And it goes back to what the sister said. You got to make sure judgment is there as well. That's the law. You can't have your words to be all over the place, because you're not going to build a house like that. You're not. And the last scripture is Sirach. Let's go to Sirach, the 5th chapter. Your words has to be direct. It can't be all over the place. You got to know sometimes you do offend. But even if you offend and it has to go there, let it go there. But make sure you ain't angry when you give that fitly specific direct word. You got to make sure you're not there. You're not going to be angry. You have to make sure you're not going to not give place for the Creator's law. You're going to make sure you bring that law, that judgment. Sirach, the 5th chapter. We're going to go down, jump down to verse 13, 14, and 15. Be not called a whisperer. Don't be called a whisperer. Somebody like to talk in the corner. You know how they say, you throw a rock and hide your hand? Don't be that person. Let people know that you're the one that's speaking. And lie not in wait with thy tongue. for a foul shame is upon a thief. See, don't sit in the corner waiting, speaking, and nobody don't know that it's coming from you. That's like a thief waiting to get in to steal. No, let people know that that came from you. See, a lot of us, we're ashamed of telling people, oh, I'm the one who said that. No, tell people you said it. And an evil condemnation upon the double tongue. See, a double tongue means you speak this way, but you really speak in that way. You really don't mean what you're saying. That's a double tongue. 1 minute you're saying this, and the next minute you're saying that. Your words ain't stable. It's all over the place. See? That's an evil condemnation. You can't be trusted. You're not to be trusted. You're not to be trusted. "14. Be not called," well, excuse me. I skipped 13. Let me jump back to 13. "Honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of a man is his fall." See, honor and shame is in talk. I mean, people talk about honor and shame, but a man's mouth brings him to ruins. We could talk about honor and shame all day, but a man's mouth brings him down to ruin. And jump down to verse 15. "Be not ignorant of anything in great matter or small." Don't be ignorant of something of great matter. That's why I told you, you got to do your investigation. You have to do your investigation. You see? You have to do your investigation. "Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small matter." Do your investigation. If you don't do your investigation and you get caught up in the moment, there ain't nobody's fault but yours. Ain't nobody's fault but yours. Ain't nobody's fault but yours. Let's go back to Ecclesiastes, back in the Bible. Ecclesiastes, 5th chapter, verse 6. And here we go. Verse 6. "Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Neither say thou before an angel that it was an error. Wherefore should God, the Creator, be angry at thy voice and destroy the works of thy hand?" Now, this is a heavy scripture right here. This is a heavy verse. And it's a lot there. "Suffer not thy mouth to cause your flesh to sin. Neither say before an angel that it was an error. Should the Creator destroy the works of your hand?" Adam's work was destroyed. He now have to work harder. David's house was destroyed. The sword was always there. Confusion, hatred, and etc. was always in David's house. The house of Saul was destroyed because he deliberately ignored the law. Samuel had to come and kill that king because Saul didn't want to kill him. You see? Israel's house is destroyed because of what? They refused to follow Torah. Solomon destroyed the house of Israel because why? He refused to turn from his wicked ways, which split the house of Israel. You see where I'm going at? Look at the house. Look at the house. Look at how your house is and continue to be destroyed. Look at it. Look at how Israel's house is and continue to be destroyed. And it's like Israel, we would come up with all kinds of things, but we're not turning from our wicked ways. And here we go. Let me get into 2 videos real quick. Let me get into 2 videos real quick. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh, I got it right here. Okay, here we go right here. Let me pull it up. This is fair use, fair use. I don't know why it's doing this. Let me go in. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, see, this thing want to act up now. Give me a second, because this thing want to act up now, and I don't know why it's doing this. Wow. Y'all still hear me? Put a 1 up in the chat. I'm gonna have to just do it this way here. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all hear me still. Y'all still hear me? Those that still here, do y'all hear me? Okay, I guess I'm talking to me. Okay, all praise. Thank you, Sister Latoya. Thank you. All right, let me do it like this. Share the screen. It's about Michael Jackson. So fair use. This is not my material. I claim no rights to this material. This is for teaching educational purposes only. Fair use. So let me turn this down real quick. All right, all praises. Here we go.
That would quote unquote call upon demonic spirits to either help them write songs or have songs completely given to them from another realm. This many times has resulted in many of them becoming Grammy Award winning artists and selling millions of records. Well, if that's what it takes to sell millions of records, then what would it take to become one of the most successful musicians of all time, the king of pop, and to sell billions of records? Michael Jackson got his song ideas 3 different ways and is by far the best example of using witchcraft to get hit records and the most demonic way to become arguably the most powerful channeler and sorcerer we've ever seen.
Let me start over.
So over the past few months, we've discussed different artists and individuals that would quote unquote call upon demonic spirits to either help them write songs or have songs completely given to them from another realm. This many times has resulted in many of them becoming Grammy Award winning artists and selling millions of records. Well, if that's what it takes to sell millions of records, then what would it take to become one of the most successful musicians of all time, the king of pop, and to sell billions of records? Michael Jackson got his song ideas three different ways and is by far the best example of using witchcraft to get hit records in the most demonic way to become arguably the most powerful channeler and sorcerer we've ever seen in music history.
So I want to say this real quick, that Michael Jackson channeled those songs. And what make it so bad, Jackson tells you that himself. He channeled spirits. And he went into the demonic realm to gain access to those songs that he sung. So if Michael Jackson did that, imagine what a lot of artists that we love do. Were they channelers? Were they demonic? Were they going into the demonic realm to pull them songs out? Or was that really them? Let's go. Let's keep riding. Let's keep cooking. Let's go.
And I will prove that in this video. If you want the uncensored version of this video, please consider becoming a member of the Patreon. For those of you who are already members of the Patreon, we just released a video revealing part of the Epstein list. Yes, you heard me correctly, the actual list. There's a guy who's been doing research over the past 4 or 5 years, and I would have loved to drop it on YouTube, but YouTube has been giving me a lot of trouble with uploading that video, so you can find it on my Patreon. Right now with the Jeffrey Epstein list and the confusion that's going on in the country, music group, the Jackson Brothers, and Michael, this performer that I've ever seen before, and it's not even close. Michael Jackson was born on August 29, 1958. He was the 8th of 10 children. His father, Joe Jackson, worked in a steel mill and managed the family's music group. His mother, Catherine, stayed home and supported the children's interests in music and faith. In 1964, Joe Jackson started their music group, the Jackson Brothers, and Michael would join when he was just 5 years old. Even at that age, Michael stood out for his voice and his energy. During the early years, it was very well documented that Michael's dad would give him a hard time, even making fun of the shape of his nose, calling it quote-unquote fat, which resulted in the feeling of insecurity for Michael. It was also said that his dad would physically abuse him as a consequence for making mistakes within the band. It is even said that Michael's dad forced him to undergo hormone treatment to prevent his voice from changing. Even Michael's physician confirmed this story.
So I want you to pay attention to that. Michael Jackson, father, had made him go through hormone treatments to keep his voice soft. And y'all think that some of these people just have soft voices? I want y'all to really pay attention to how we bring things into the house. Okay? Let's keep cooking. Let's go.
At some point, Joe would give Michael the opportunity to sing lead alongside his brother, and it would be then that Joe would change the name of the group from the Jackson Brothers to the Jackson 5. In 1965, they started performing and winning in local talent shows and even adult clubs, despite the fact they featured adult dancers. In August 1967, the group would perform and win at the Amateur Night at the Apollo in Harlem, New York, which would then catapult their career and opportunities, eventually leading to a couple of record deals. In 1968, they signed with Motown Records. Their first single, I Want You Back, hit #1. Other hits follow, such as ABC, The Love You Saved, and I'll Be There. In 1969, the group will be introduced to the world by Diana Ross in the Miss Black America Beauty Pageant, which resulted in Michael receiving most of the spotlight, with Rolling Stone calling MJ a young prodigy. By 1972, Michael released solo music while staying in the group. His early solo songs like Got to...
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to, look how he look. Is that not like a feminine look? Is that not feminine? Look at it. Is that not being feminine? That's not a manly look. I mean, I'm not trying to throw a slam. I'm not trying to throw a dot, but I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to see how these people been doing this thing in your face for a long time. Let's keep cooking.
To be there and being were very successful, but Michael's early success came with pressure. He often said he didn't have a normal childhood. While other kids were playing, he was working, performing, and preparing for shows. In 1975, the group would leave Motown Records and rename themselves the Jacksons and would release 6 more albums after this point. Then Michael would eventually go solo again, releasing his 5th solo studio album, Off the Wall, with the hit single Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and the rest is history. That's probably a lot of things that you already know about Michael Jackson, but let me share some things about Michael Jackson that you probably don't know that played a huge role in the success or the secret behind the success to his career. Oftentimes what I hear is Michael is, very well soft-spoken and he was against the agenda, and it's very difficult to believe if he was into these evil things. But MJ only spoke out against the music industry later in his career when the elites stopped working with him and started going against him personally. Before that point, he 100% benefited from all the perks and even exploited many artists, including the same black musicians he claimed record labels would take advantage of.
How serious was that competition? Because we hear stories all the time.
Mike definitely stopped me from working with a lot of people at that time.
Like who?
Just a lot of artists. A lot of artists was calling me to work at that time, and Mike was just like...
Now, I just want to bring this out right here. You notice what he did when he tried to be specific? He said, no, a lot of artists. I just showed y'all the principle. You don't put people out there like that. Because see, if you bring their name up, it could cause hatred. So he was smart at what he did. He just said, no, a lot of artists. Now look at Michael Jackson's picture right here to the left. Look at the picture. Now we're getting ready to get into when you dance to his music and etc. Now you're about to realize what you've been dancing to. Let's ride.
Like, I'll pay you not to work with them. Yeah, she was like, he was like, I need you. And it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing of I'll pay you not to work with them because they're not good or anything like that. It was more so I need you here, focused and locked in on what we're doing.
It's a very well-known fact that MJ was an extremely selfish and greedy artist to the point that he would not only steal records from other people, but he would hoard most of the best songs that other people wrote so that he would take credit for the songs over other musicians. And just because someone is soft-spoken does not mean they didn't delve into evil spirits, rituals, and practices. And by the end of this video, you'll 100% see MJ completely differently than the way you see him now. MJ had way too much power and influence globally to not have been controlled. One of the biggest controversies surrounding Michael Jackson that I'm sure a lot of us know about are the accusations with him and little boys. Many say he was innocent. Many say he was guilty. Many even argue that regardless of either being true, the reason he was so infatuated with hanging out with children is because he didn't really get to have a childhood himself due to his father forcing him to be a professional musician since a young age. But my personal opinion doesn't really matter, and honestly, I'll leave that part for you all to discuss based on all the information I'm going to give you in this video. But speaking of Michael Jackson and his career, earlier I mentioned how Diana Ross was part of the reason that they blew up. She, for the most part, introduced them to the world. What a lot of people don't know is that Michael Jackson actually lived with Diana Ross for a year when he was just 9 years old, despite the fact that she was 14 years older than him, during a time in which MJ would allegedly call her both his mom and his girlfriend, which reminds me of the Diddy Usher situation, which we will be speaking about Diddy later because he will be relevant when it comes to the death of Michael Jackson.
Now I want you to pay attention to that too. Michael Jackson was dating Diana Ross when Michael Jackson was 9 years old. All this is going to play a part into what is going to come down the pipe in a minute. So pay attention. Let's ride.
What I can say about Michael Jackson, though, is that I noticed something about him, just like I noticed about a lot of other celebrities that always confused me, and it was the symbolism in their videos, their pictures, and their album covers. Michael Jackson can be seen as a child doing the one-eye symbolism, which are 100% Masonic or Freemason poses. So you can see him from the one-eye symbolism, the code of silence, or the sworn to secrecy pose, or even the 666 hand gesture. And it wasn't just in his childhood that he did this, as even when he was an adult, he continued to do the one-eye symbolism. And one of the most symbolic album covers of all time would be Michael Jackson's Dangerous album, which features the Masonic all-seeing eye, the twin pillars of knowledge, and even a young child only covered by an animal skeleton. And even on this album cover, you can see the Masonic checkerboard flooring, the red, white, and black color theme that you see in a lot of people's albums, including multiple Michael Jackson photo shoots and albums, and even the moon crescent that represents moon magic. We've covered several artists in the past, whom many are public and open Freemasons, displaying the same imagery in their music videos and photos as well.
Do not buy Solana when you could
Spoken about many times on this channel, as Aleister Crowley heavily teaches about this in his books and his religion, Thelema, that we just covered in the XXX Tentacion video, where I 100% prove that XXX Tentacion was a follower of Aleister Crowley, and he wasn't even secretive about it. Not to mention, I have to mention this, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club band album cover by the Beatles that featured many influential and controversial figures, especially in the music industry, such as Karl Marx, Bob Dylan, and yep, you guessed it, even Aleister Crowley himself. And even though MJ is not on this album cover, it 100% connects to MJ because MJ was very close to the Beatles, specifically Paul McCartney. But not only that, MJ infamously, as a lot of us know, would go on to buy the Beatles catalog. And so that connected him directly to the Beatles. But I want to talk about the reason that he bought the Beatles catalog, because it wasn't just about a flex. It wasn't about money, because MJ was already rich. I personally believe, and there are other people that believe, that MJ actually bought that catalog so that he can channel the spirit of Aleister Crowley, because there's a lot of Beatles records that never came out. And there's a lot of rituals that went into MJ's music that we're about to cover. So I thought it would be very interesting for me to do something. I wanted to kill, 3 birds with one stone. And what I mean by that is, one of the most popular videos on this channel is the young lady that talks about the girl who was dating the guy who quote unquote sold his soul to the devil in order to make it in the music industry and will later get a record deal. Well, a lot of people typically tell me in my videos, they feel like I'm sharing this, I'm openly giving spells out on YouTube. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to kill 3 birds with one stone. I'm not going to give any spells out in this video. I'm not going to directly share it. 2, I'm still going to drive the point home about Michael Jackson, the evil practices that he delved into, and the ways in which he got his songs. And 3, I'm going to put you all onto Pastor G. Craig Lewis, who we talked about on this channel before, who did an incredible job. All my research was lining up with all the things that he talked about. So I figured, why not just include the clip where he's talking about it? He's going to deliver it maybe much better than I could anyways. And I want to direct you all to his channel so that you can find more information similar to the videos I make on this channel. And then on the other side, I'm going to tell you all, and we're going to break down 2 of MJ's songs piece by piece so you can see that MJ was not as innocent as many people think that he was.
My studies on this man has done is really summed everything that I've been preaching for the last 10 years up into one person. On the surface, people cried and wept and mourned. Churches celebrated and wore glove and sung. They sung his songs, and they didn't know that they were celebrating the most powerful Nephilim our music industry has ever seen. This ancient God that was in this man literally stole your heart with some music. When he transformed himself into a woman, he didn't care. Stole your heart. When child molestation charges were brought up against him, you knew they were false because he stole your heart. When he bought the Beatles anthology, so he could channel Aleister Crowley through it. He stole your heart. When he practiced witchcraft and became one of the most powerful channelers that we've ever seen. I'm going to show you. First thing Aleister Crowley teaches you in the 777 is to channel a powerful entity. Most of the time you get it out of a child. We'll talk about that later. But when this entity comes upon you, so what he did, he went and found the worshipers of Sybil, or we would say Cybele. Cybele was an ancient goddess. So those men that worship Cybele were different. They were called Corybants. Now you've heard the term, man, you're acting like a Corybant, or you're acting Corybantous, which means wildly. But the group of men that cloned this phrase were worshipers of this goddess, Cybele. And let me describe these to you. Now these are some notes from any old encyclopedia. Corybantes. They had their hair dressed and waved like women. They were heavily made up with their faces resembling whitewashed walls. They were castrated and keepers of children and infants, partaking in coming of age rituals and celebrations. They practiced magic and divination to make money. Listen to this. They made wild cries or high-pitched shrills while they performed their dances to the music of pipe and dull beats of the tambourine. Listen, when the deity or the gods would enter into them, they were possessed by divine power. They would dance uncontrollably in ecstatic frenzy. Here are some pictures just so you can get a good look. And I'm not, listen, y'all, please be serious with me. This is not funny at all. This man died in this, okay? This is not funny. But he literally got put on our magazines. But just as like Michael, the archangel, I mean, the Bible says that we were made in God's image and his likeness. So our look is not far from God's look. But right here, they've got Michael and trying to make you think this is like Michael, the archangel, some seductive looking angel, because he kept his face in an ambiguous fashion where he really was genderless. Corybantes. Let's go through some of his songs so you can kind of hear his signals, because they always have to signal you. We Are the World. There's a line in We Are the World that is so demonic it's hard to believe that folks sung this in their churches in celebration to Michael Jackson. And it's down here. Michael wrote this part. It says, send them your heart so they'll know that someone cares. Y'all know. And your lives will be stronger and free. Y'all remember that? Then he says, as God has shown us by turning stones to bread. If Jesus had obeyed Satan and turned stones to bread, all of us would be lost right now. Folks didn't even get it. They're waiting for me to finish the song. Here is a song.
Now we want to be careful with that one. Now, this is the pastor. We just getting the information from him. Now we understand what this channel represent. All right, we don't follow JC over here. All right, so let's keep getting the information. Let's go.
Where he's describing the Nephilim spirit in him and telling you that the end is near. This is a song called Enough to Believe that folks sung this in their churches in celebration to Michael Jackson. And it's down here. Michael wrote this part. Says, send them your heart so they'll know that someone cares. Y'all know. And your lives will be stronger and free. Y'all remember that? Then he says, as God has shown us by turning stones to bread. If Jesus had obeyed Satan and turned stones to bread, all of us would be lost right now. Folks didn't even get it. They waiting for me to finish the song. Here is a song where he's describing the Nephilim spirit in him and telling you that the end is near. This is a song called Another Part of Me. There he is dressed up like Eva Maria in the same thing like Beyonce wore. He said, we're taking over. We have the truth. This is the mission to see it through. Don't point your finger. Not dangerous. This is our planet. You're one of us. Okay, it sounds like he's talking something friendly or whatever. But listen, we're sending out a major love. This is our message to you. The planets are lining up. What does it mean in astrology? What does it mean in Greek mythology? What does it mean in the Mayans and the Sumerian cultures? All of these different cultures. What does it mean when the planets line up? It's the day that Nimrod comes and takes his throne and finishes the Tower of Babel, the uncapped pyramid. They're all in line waiting for you. Can't you see you're just another? Says in this song, nasty boogie bugs me like somebody has drugged me. The spellbound rhythm gets on my feet. I changed my life completely. I see the lightning leave me. And my baby just can't take her eyes off me. Look, the magic music moves me. That dirty rhythm grooves me. The devil's got into me with his dance. They don't believe it, Pastor, because it's Michael. I'm full of funky fever. A fire burns inside me. Boogie got me in a super trance. Blame it on the boogie. Quincy Jones said that when he finished this song, he couldn't stop dancing. He ran out in the street and he was dancing uncontrollably.
I dare you to let me build you.
He couldn't stop dancing. He ran out in the street and he was dancing uncontrollably. Oh, I'm not done. I haven't even started. There were three ways Michael Jackson would get his song. Gotta hear this. Because I believe this is what led to Michael Jackson's death. Hope they come talk to me about it, because I'll give you some information from the Holy Ghost. I don't need a forensic science. Look at somebody and say, all you gotta do is ask God. God laid this out to me as plain. The three ways Michael Jackson got his song. The first way Michael Jackson said, he told Martin Brashear on the interview that he would climb a tree called the Giving Tree, Tree of Knowledge. Tree of Knowledge. Climb this tree and he would get this song.
The climate is a problem for Jackson. He says the colour-changing skin condition vitiligo has made him allergic to the sun. So, shielded by his umbrella, he took me to his most secret place.
I call it my Giving Tree because it inspires me. I love climbing trees in general, but this tree I love the most because I climb up high and I look down on its branches, and it gives me, I just love it, so many ideas. I've written so many of my songs in this tree. I wrote Heal the World in this tree, Will You Be There, Black or White, Childhood.
Second way, Aleister Crowley said in his book, 777, that he had a room of mirrors, and if you look into a mirror, you can look into yourself, and you can channel the spirits of those that were before you. He's really saying that those that may have molested you or those that may have taken from you, you can bring them back and ask them to be your guide and tell you why they did what they did to you. So Michael Jackson created a mirror, a room of mirrors that he could go in and channel spirits. And Michael Jackson chose a specific spirit. He says this, he says, I have my own secret room with a moving wall and mirrors, okay? Same room that Aleister Crowley had. He says, this is where I talk to Liberace. I hear his voice in there. I feel his presence so very close to me. He's like my guardian angel. He even gave me permission to record his title, I'll Be Seeing You. That's in the Psychic News in 1987. Liberace, homosexual. Flamboyant homosexual. You channel the spirit of the most flamboyant homosexual of our time. And the third way is the way I believe Michael Jackson died. He said that his best songs came in dreams. Michael Jackson would channel Morpheus, the god of dreams, who studied under Serapis Bey. Serapis Bey is the image that Catholics use as the image of Christ, but it's not. He has the Ra, the sun god, behind his head. He looks just like Christ, but it's not, just like Semiramis and Nimrod, that whole thing I told you about earlier. But he was an Egyptian incarnated god, so he would channel those spirits. He also channeled the spirits of Hypnos and Thanatos. Hypnos is the god of sleep. Thanatos is the god of death, and they're brothers along with Morpheus. Now, what becomes very dangerous about what Michael was doing, if you read, Michael Jackson would sleep sometimes 3 and 4 days at a time because he was trying to get hit songs. He even said one time that he couldn't go to sleep. He said a spirit told him that if he did not get to sleep to get this song, the spirit is going to give it to Prince. This is where the rivalry between him and Prince birthed in the 80s, if y'all remember that. But Michael needed to sleep, so they began to sedate him heavily so he could sleep the amount of time he needed to sleep to get hit. But a 50-year-old body trying to do a world tour, hungry for the next hit song, the right dosage. I know some people are saying, well, you haven't really convinced me. I'm about to. Michael Jackson had 2 albums that told everything that he was doing. The first album he had that I'm going to show you is his history album. He built a statue of himself like Nebuchadnezzar because that Nephilim spirit in him wanted to be worshipped. But if you zoom into his arm, there's a number on his arm, and that number is 777. Aleister Crowley's book, 777. Quabbalistic writings, channel Nephilim spirits for fame. Get your songs from the devil.
Are you seeing that? You heard that. Something else I want you all to consider is that
so family, this is what you have to understand. These people be channeling those songs. They be channeling those songs from the demonic realm. And they put funky beats behind it. And they have you singing them. They have you testifying to them. They have you they just have you dancing to them. But you don't even see where they get the songs from and what those songs are actually dealing with. And you steady just what? Dance to them. You bring these songs in your house. I did it. But I had to learn that these folks are wicked. And their job, like I say at the beginning, if you feed an animal GMO, and you go kill that animal, what are you planning? What you think that animal is going to get? What do you think that animal is going to give you? We don't believe it though. We think that I'm exempt from that. No, you're not. Because their job is to infect you. But we don't want to do that because we think that we are outside of that. Let's get into the next video, and this is the closing out. This is Kirk Franklin. Those y'all who believe in gospel, I just showed you Pop. I'm showing you Pop. But we're going to get into gospel now. Those that love gospel. Let me start over again. Here we go. Fair use is not my material. This is only for educational purposes only. So family, let's get into it. We're still in the Fair Use Act. Let's go.
About Kirk Franklin mixing gospel music with secular music. And he pretty much predicted that in the future, this would be a major problem. And he speaks about why this is a problem, what people that make secular music do to get the music that they make. And this is crazy. It's crazy that he predicted this. I want to show y'all this because we all know that Kirk Franklin is heavily involved with BET, and he was just on the BET Award show getting called out by Kevin Hart. He did a song with Glorilla that all of a sudden Glorilla now gets the best gospel song of the year. Okay, we're going to talk about all that. Before we hop into this video, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm so that this video can reach more people like yourself. I truly appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and hop in.
But Freddie Stewart, who used to be the lead guitar player for Sly and the Family Stone, said that you don't ever take that music and bring it to church. He said, because we shot heroin for days to get that song. We were under the influence of the devil when we wrote it. And the church getting it and doing it in the gospel. But anyway, met him in the lobby of the hotel, and he began to tell me and ask me, about the ministry, different things. But one thing he said that stood out, he said, Craig, the merge of hip hop and gospel did not work. He said it was unsuccessful. So I'm like, why'd you do it? It's unsuccessful. But now the club is in the church. Because of your music, what do we do now? You don't run an experiment on the people of God because you got some records sold. I never forget standing in my classroom one day. And some of these, my ex-students might remember. I was standing in my classroom and the Holy Spirit spoke to me about 6 years ago, spoke to me and said, Craig, the vision I gave you is about to get confirmed right now. And I got this funny feeling. I turned around and it was Kurt. He was in my doorway. And he walked in and he said, I want to tell your class something. And he told the class, he said, I'm getting ready to merge Christian music and secular music. He said, I'm going to have artists like D'Angelo singing with artists like Yolanda Adams. I'm going to have artists like R. Kelly singing with artists like me. I'm going to mix them and merge them so that they will be one.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Craig G. Lewis, who is credible concerning hip hop,
But this is the thing I be trying to tell y'all. If you feed an animal GMO and you kill that animal, you're going to eat that GMO. So the industry fed these people the devil, and now these people are now bringing the devil to you. I just showed you Michael Jackson brought it to you. Don't stop till you get enough. Keep on. Till you do the bus stop. Don't stop till you get. That's the Nephilim God that they were telling you about in the video. It's a dancing God. But you don't believe that. You don't believe it. You just get happy and go do the bus stop. But let's keep cooking. And now Kirk Franklin is merging the gospel industry with the secular industry, even though they were singing about the devil. But they now merging it right before your face, those who believe in that gospel. And y'all be shouting to hallelujah. Oh, praise God. Oh, and you be holding your hands up in the air. You shout and you jump. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. You just be feeling the little hair stand up on your body. Because you don't even understand the energy that they be using. Oh, let's keep cooking, man. Let's keep cooking. How about
Kurt Franklin told him he's going to merge hip hop music with gospel music. He said so that the music can be one. And guess what? 20 years later, 20 plus years later, here we are. He's on the BET Awards, merging hip hop with gospel music. It's crazy.
And he did it. And I believe he's rebirthed and reborn. And I'm not talking about him. I'm just telling you what happened. That happened. Can I tell what happened? It happened. But now what do we do? Let the kids club dance so we can reach them and get a bunch of kids in there acting like they in the world. Let the kids look and act like the secular artists that are performing. Let's do the secular music in the middle of the gospel concert. Let's raise a praise for the devil as we do his music and mix it with God's. God said, I forbid.
Well, hold on. I thought I was sharing the video. Hold on. Give me a second. I thought I was sharing the video. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Now
Is private student loan debt wrecking your life?
the video should be up there now. Yeah. All right, let's keep cooking.
Refinances distressed or defaulted.
Kids look and act like the secular artists that are performing. Let's do the secular music in the middle of the gospel concert. Let's raise a praise for the devil as we do his music and mix it with God. God said, I forbid.
That's R. Kelly. Y'all don't believe these people got spirits in them.
I'm gonna say something, and it's just what I feel. Okay, it's just what I feel. There is something inside of Kirk Franklin. There's something inside of him that may not be the Holy Spirit. It's something inside of him, yo. I just don't know anybody else that has had such a strong desire to mix godly music with worldly music like he does. And that I'm not saying that he's not saved. Or no, I'm not.
See, this is the problem. This is the problem. When the Bible tells you, we just went over it, admonish a friend. You can't somebody when you sitting there looking at it in your face. This man got a demon in him, and they scared to tell these people they are demon possessed. And they're feeding that same demon back to you. You're playing this stuff in your car. You're playing it in your house. You're playing it in your headphones. You're heading in the stores when you shop. They're feeding you back this demonic stuff. And you and these jokers are scared to tell the truth. This is the reason why Israel is cursed. Because Israel is scared to tell the people the doggone truth. Let's finish cooking real quick.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's destined for hell. Don't go twisting my words. But what I'm saying is there is a spirit that is within Kirk Franklin that is working on the opposite of God's spirit. I don't know what it is. I don't know. By spirit, I mean an intention. I'm not saying he's possessed. I'm saying there's an intention. Just like Jesus said.
He's possessed. We don't want to hear that. He's possessed because you're scared to tell the truth. You're scared to tell the truth. This man is possessed. And this is the problem. These people are scared to tell the truth. He's possessed. And he's feeding that to your children. He's bringing that spirit to your house, and he got you eating it. He ain't got you eating the word of the Creator. He got you eating the outside judgment of your desires.
He individual sin because he's listen to what he's about to say. Let's check this out.
What part like that? Because you can't go and do 90% of something and then say, okay, I'm gonna do 10% of this, and then I'm gonna go win awards with the 10% that I do. When you got dudes doing it every single day, and it's their lifestyle.
I don't disagree with that, but to your point, we're all works in progress. And what if that's God's way of saying, look, you doing all of this, you don't get no rewards for it. This record, you got rewarded for it. What if that makes that person go more in that direction?
Like the medicine in the kingdom. I ain't concerned about no rewards.
God is not concerned about rewards. He's not concerned about your accolades that you get on this earth. He doesn't care about that. He never cared about how much money you make. He don't care about giving you an award for making one gospel song, but the rest of your life is living. They are nowhere on this list. Okay, you got a lot of Brandon Lake not on that list, which is crazy. Let me show y'all that real quick. Okay, so I don't know how accurate this list is because according to Google, the best, most accurate site is Billboard Top 100, but they won't let you see it unless you subscribe. So according to iTunes top charts, they are nowhere on this list. Okay, you got a lot of Brandon Lake, you got Phil Wickham, Jamie McDonald, Megan Woods, Elevation, Forrest Frank. These are top Christian artists. CeCe Winans, Mercy Me, more Forrest Frank, CeCe Winans. You got you have Kirk Franklin on this list somewhere, but it's not with the song that she was in. If I can find Kirk Franklin, I think there he is, number 50 with Do It Again. I don't think that is the song that he did with her. So that song that she did with Kirk Franklin is not on this list, but somehow she got the Best Gospel Award. And a gospel artist actually has something to say about this. His name is Dietrich Haddon. He's one of the legends in gospel music. And so let's check out what he got to say. Let's listen to this.
Thing went viral, didn't it? Everybody just inhale and exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. It's okay, y'all. It's just an opinion. And I have the right to my opinion. And I meant what I said. It's obvious that we struck a chord because it's on the minds and hearts of people all over. Let me just say, what I'm saying is not about Glorilla. Like, Glorilla didn't choose herself. Somebody made the decision to give her the Dr. Bobby Jones Gospel Award. This is about honoring and respecting those artists who put their blood, sweat, tears, and years into this business, the gospel music industry, to keep it alive when nobody's thinking about it. And giving them their flowers while they're yet alive and working hard in the industry that's already tough. The gospel music industry, the audience, everything about it is tough. So I commend and I respect all the artists that work in it.
I'm gonna leave it right here, family. I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm just showing you I'm just here to show you that these people is feeding you stuff that really doesn't matter. It's on the outside of your house. Because why? It's about the agenda of you breaking an oath as an Israelite towards the Creator. If they can't get you secular-wise, a lot of Israelites is in the church. They're going to get you in the church. I ain't showing you rap, not tonight. That's for another time. Slow jams, I ain't got to that yet. If they can't get you here, they're going to get you over there. I ain't showed you politics yet. They got you creating oaths outside of your house and got you disrespecting your house that the Creator had put you in a position you for. So, family, I hope you got something out this lesson tonight, because we don't eat the road that the Creator told us to eat. We eat what the devil and these foreigners tell us to eat. You see? We just getting started. I'm just in part 4. Your words have to be, like the sister put out tonight, fitly. That's the key word, fitly. It has to be tightly, direct, and precise. Because when you eat everything outside, that's the reason why we are sick and we are dying in sin. Because we committed an oath and a promise to everything else except the house that the Creator placed us in. Okay? Family, we thank you for joining me tonight. On one of you that has joined me, this is Maury Yaakov and ITFTR Network. Thank you. Shalom.